I am live. Welcome to Live with Joan. And we're going to give it a few minutes before we jump into our amazing situation today. Um, we're bringing on someone super cute. He's got 4 legs, and we're going to do a little work with him. So, anyway, I have lots to share also. So we'll give it a minute. Is anyone joining?
And yes, people are starting to come on.
Claudia's like, no, they aren't, Joan. There's nobody here.
There's no one here. It's just you and me.
Okay, well, we have a lot to talk about. We'll bring Afton on.
Wait, no, it's they're coming. They're coming. I was just kidding. Okay. I have to do dual screen so I can see everybody and everything. So bear with me.
Okay. So in the meantime.
Oh, here we go. Wow. Everybody popped up.
Okay.
Leslie Williams says hi.
Good morning.
Says hello.
Good morning.
Agnes Virches. Sorry, I can't pronounce her last name.
Is joining class tomorrow.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. She says hello. I couldn't find you at first. It took a minute. It's not your fault. It took us a minute.
Yeah.
Joyce Lee Leggett says hi there.
Hello.
Shannon Meyer says hi to all. Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Shannon. Okay, so we are good. All right. So we are bringing on one of our own students that's a graduate that's and has just joined the teaching program, and she is someone that has well, she just did the spring intensive, and she did the acupressure. So, and she's a dog trainer, and she used to run a sanctuary for pigs, the pig preserve. So she's multi-talented. But before we bring her on, I wanted to talk a little bit about what is coming up tomorrow. If you are still on the fence about joining AC Level 1, we are kicking that off tomorrow. Kicking that off. What does that even mean? That's a football term, isn't it?
I think it is.
I don't know.
To be honest with you, yeah.
We are starting another round of Animal Communication Level 1, and it's an amazing class. It's the foundation for everything we're teaching in terms of not the energy healing, but you know, if you wanted to go further on into like a lot of our rescue calls and things like that, it's definitely the foundation. So it's the foundational course, and it's 12 live calls with different teachers giving you feedback on the spot. So there's an opportunity to really build that telepathic muscle. And so I really, if it's something you want to do, I'd love to see you in the class tomorrow. And then on May 12th, we're starting the energy healing for animals. I just realized I didn't do my little introduction, because sometimes we get new people. We've gotten a lot of new people in here lately. So
that's true, we have.
So if you're new to me, my name is Joan Ranquet. I'm an animal communicator, energy healer, author, TEDx speaker, and founder of Communication with All Life University. And our program has an opportunity for people to learn animal communication or become an animal communicator, to learn energy healing or become an energy healer, or to learn about nature and wildlife as we're developing that part of the school. So we have a lot of fun courses. We just finished up a course with Marie Christine called Subtle Energies. We also have a sister school, if you will, the Jill and Joan Healing, and we are starting a Yin and Yang class. That's a 5-week acupressure class, and a lot of people are just doing the whole thing. So it's so fun to watch as people progress through the acupressure. And anyway, we've got a lot of really great programs ahead, things that we're doing, things that we're developing, and we'd love to have you join us. So the timeliness of this May 12th Energy Healing for Animals is that's a 10-week course, and I'm going to teach all but one. Claudia's teaching the behavior class for the animal, and I've already picked out which animal that you're going to talk to, that you're going to tap on in the evening class, and we'll figure out for the morning class.
Great.
Yeah, just kind of filling Claudia in on her job now. If you would have seen her face, she was like, okay. Anyway, so that class is EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique tapping, and then a little bit of scalar wave at the end, and a whole lot of online content. And what is really amazing is right now I'm writing a book called EFT for Animals. I got the book deal with Fintorn Press, and so and it's due on Saturday. I thought it was due Sunday, but it's actually Saturday, and I'm not stressed or anything. Um, but and some people have read it, have read parts of it, and are kind of giving me feedback as I go. So like Shannon has read bits, and I sent more off to her. Claudia's read up to halfway through chapter 5. Yeah. And do you like it?
It's going to be my Bible.
Hmm.
It is for EFT. So it is really good, really, really, really good. And for a subject matter that can be so rich, it's easy. You make it easy to understand.
Well, thank you. I hope that continues. That's all I have to say. Is I just hope that continues.
So do I.
I'm so in the weeds right now with this book. It's like I mean it's my first book was really fun to write. When I was a screenwriter, that was really fun to write. My second book, it was 4 drafts, 3 boyfriends, no, 3 editors, 2 boyfriends, and a lot of coffee before that was done. And so the deadline got moved, and the due date, the publication date got changed. It was hard. I'm not going to say that was fun. And this has been fun but hard. Fun because I think I'm tackling some deep, right? Like we're really like one whole chapter that's a million pages long is on just emotions, and
yeah,
you're in that one right now, right? And what do you think of that?
And that's why I stopped when I did, because it's wow. Like there are some bombshells in there that you drop that it's just like my brain. And I knew this stuff, right? Because we've talked about it, we've learned about it, we've gone over it, but it's wow. Yeah. Like this is gonna make a very big difference for animals that are being quote unquote misunderstood or relinquished or surrendered or abandoned because of behavioral issues that no one knows how to deal with. So
well, that's my biggest hope, is that even if you don't do EFT, that you read the book, because the whole thing is it really breaks down each of the emotions and feelings, and then really breaks down the behaviors. And so then you match these feelings to these behaviors, and then if you were to add training in,
oof.
Forget it, right? I was talking to Linda Mccoy last night, who's someone who's finally going through the program. She's been a huge rescuer. She's just an amazing animal advocate. That's all I can say. I mean, she's gone down to Katrina. She was deployed for that. She's been on every major rescue hoarding case around, the U.S. She's done a lot of stuff. And she's starting the EFT class. She took it at the spring intensive, but she's starting because she's in the big program. So she starts on May 12th. And I mean, we have some amazing people just in the program that are going to be in that class. So those conversations, that it's just going to be really rich. And she's so excited because between training and animal communication and EFT, we could empty the cages, right? I know I just stole that from the whole SeaWorld thing, empty the tanks. But let's empty the cages. Let's empty the enclosures. Let's empty the shelters. Let's empty them. And
It's
that,
funny that.
yes.
Go ahead. No,
Well,
go ahead.
no, that is driving me when I think about if you just understood that they're not peeing because they're pissed off. Like we've got all sorts of ways to help dogs that pee, but if we don't break it down for cats that pee, they're dead. They're
Yeah.
just euthanized. They go to the shelter and that's it. And they have no chance of ever living in a loving home again. So that drives me. Anyway, what were you going to say?
Well, I was just going to say that, you're talking about EFT, animal communication, training, and shelters, and we're going to get a little snippet of that right now.
We are. I'm guzzling my coffee. Yes, we are.
But before we do, I just want to say that, repeat that tomorrow, Animal Communication Level 1 begins the new 12-week course. If you have any desire, any interest, I highly recommend it. You will see me too, because I am one of the teachers. You will also see our guest speaker today, she is also a teacher, as well as Shannon, and many other teachers. And on May 12th, we have the Energy Healing for Animals, which I think this is the time to join Energy Healing for Animals, just because of
I'm on fire. I'm on fire right now with it.
And if you have any questions, you can email our animal empath coach, Shannon Myers, at info@joanranquet.com. I will post her info in the chat. I have also posted the links to the classes in the chats. So if you have any question, please email info@joanranquet.com. And I'm done.
Okay, and thank you. So is anyone else here?
Yes. Okay. So happy Tuesday, everyone, from Cheryl Cook.
Hi, Cheryl.
Christy Fox says, she said that she couldn't find it either, and then she had to sort through the refeed. Janet Duffy said, good morning. Good morning, Cassandra.
Janet Duffy.
Cassandra says, Big Bird says hi.
Hi, Big Bird.
Love Big Bird. Chris Wilson says, good morning.
Good morning, Chris. Chris just did her first barn. Just like you.
Wow.
Yeah, she went and did animal communication and got the big high from talking to a million animals, just like
it's the best feeling.
Claudia. Yeah.
I need to get back up to a barn.
And I'm retired from animal communication, but June 9th and 10th I'll be in barns in Seattle, and then the 13th and 14th. So I need a little fix.
Yeah, it's addictive. It is. It's amazing. Charlie Kale has a funny story. She said, I read your email promoting Sarah McCrum's new book, then must have put phone in my pocket. Next thing I know, I get an email confirming my Amazon purchase of her Kindle edition. My pocket must have pressed order, and it processed immediately.
Charlie,
I don't even have Kindle, she says.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Okay, Charlie, you are going to love that. You're going to love it. You're going to love it.
Yeah.
Did you lose my sound because I just got a text?
No, I can hear you. Oh, hold on. Hold on.
Can anyone hear me?
Give it a minute, because I'm on the phone with you, so I don't know.
Because it's going to look like.
Hold on. Let me. No, you're fine.
Okay. All right, good. All right. So, Charlie, that book is going to change your world. I'll put that a little later. I'll get that from my email and put that in there. That it is life-changing for sure. Anyway.
And Erin Andescope says that her first experience with EFT was in the spring intensive, and she's mind blown, to say the least. I'm so excited to learn more in Scalar too.
Yeah, and it was so fun. That spring intensive, I'll tell you, I'm still high from that. People are like, aren't you exhausted? I'm like, no, it was so much fun. And I feel like we really have integrated the best of both worlds, right? The online, because I'm online every day. I mean, not this week because I'm writing a book, but I'm in Tuesday, Thursday, I'm with people in a pretty intimate setting. And so our intensives are really getting great because it's like adding that in the live component. So it's not too late, not too early to be thinking about the fall intensive.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I'm already thinking about it. So,
Me
okay.
too. Anyone else?
All right. Yeah. Well, a bunch of people saying hi. Ayat says this topic of helping every shelter animal find a forever home is so dear to my heart. Yep.
Yeah, Ayat is a big rescuer too and does a lot for the rescue community as far as, she is a tried and true foster. And she won't keep animals even if they fall in love with her just because she knows there's someone else that needs that opportunity. And that to me is such a beautiful.
That's a hero.
That's a hero. That's a true giving heart because I would fall in love and be like, all right, I'll have 5. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah, well, I'm about to keep our guest, so.
All right, let's bring our guest on.
So Afton Hughes is coming on.
Oh.
Hi, Afton.
Hey.
Afton feels like she lives here part-time, and she's had to explain to everybody in Tennessee that she will be living part-time out here because, yeah, she spent 17 days, she and Tanya. Is Tanya here today?
I have not seen her on, no.
How dare she? What the hell?
How dare she? Well, she's filling in for me today, so I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt.
Okay. All right. So who do we have here? And you know what? The lighting is really hard because he's a black dog, and yeah.
We'll go back over here.
Mm-hmm.
Better?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is Draco. He is currently living at Maryville City Shelter part of the time, and part of the time he's with me as a foster. So when I don't have too many board trains and I can spend time with him, he's here. He was originally diagnosed as, well, not diagnosed. The shelter thought he had neurological problems, so he went to the vet. The vet did an analysis and said, no, it's not neurological, it's OCD behavior. So then they called me and said, can you do a 2-week board and train, because he had some resource guarding and some other fun things that make him a little challenging to get adopted. He circles a lot. So that was the primary kind of, is this neuro, is this OCD? That was the primary symptom. So after I got him home and evaluated him, I was not comfortable doing my normal training package with him because he does have some kind of odd behaviors, and I just wasn't sure how far and hard I could push him to do some of the things that we would normally do for behavior training. So what we did instead was play a lot and call Joan and ask for tips. He has been back to the vet after seeing some things. He had trouble with stairs, trouble with kind of jumping in and out of the car. Just, well, I say trouble, he won't do those things. So seemingly there was either something wrong with his body or something going on with his brain. So we did an x-ray a couple days ago, and his x-ray head to toe didn't show anything problematic. So when he does walk weirdly or have trouble on stairs, it's not his body. So we've decided, the vet definitively said it's not anything with his spine. It's not an old, injury that has arthritis set up. It's not any of those things. So it probably is something going on with his noggin.
How old is he?
He's about 1.
And he's so cute.
He's normally very active, more like a puppy, but he's pooped. So we played a lot, waiting on the lab to come in. So.
All right. I'm going to get quiet for a moment and just kind of check in with that body and see what I get. And how long has he been in the shelter system?
A couple months, 2 months, I think.
And do they know anything about his history?
No.
Okay. Well, he knows that he's a great guy. He thinks he's a catch. But one thing I mean, and he's the thing that I think that gets missed with this OCD diagnosis and this possible neurological are all the other things about him that I feel like maybe through the training you could really bring out. Like he feels like he's very noble and he's very loyal and he's very devoted. And so if you could find things where he gets to be that, he also loves fiercely. He loves fun, and it feels like he's also quite knowledgeable. Like he really would be one of those dogs that could go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I feel like, just from a training and behavioral standpoint, setting him up for success in some really kind of unique ways would be a way to overcome some of the other stuff, because it's almost like you have to retrain that brain, because he does, not only is there a physical shutdown, but then he emotionally shuts down. So I think you've got two things. And in order to retrain what's going on for him, I think all the other stuff has to be super amazing, right? Like all the training, if that makes sense. I asked him if anything happened to him. I didn't really ask him. I don't like to ask if anything happens, because that's, a recipe for disaster in animal communication. You can go down a bunny trail all day long. But my sense is, and this was a very weird sensation, he said he was squished in a can. And I don't know if he was squished into the back, like a can could be a car, a car trunk. It could be something like that. But it feels like he maybe got into something and got stuck. And that's part of, now it could be that he was OCD enough and there was something wrong with his brain that put him in a can to begin with, or, and I'm just calling it a can, or that really is what stopped some of the brain function for a moment. And then I also have a sense he said he came out funny. So I don't know if he came out of that funny, or if maybe this sensation of being squished in a can was that there was something that went wrong at his birth. And so either way, I feel like, um, my sense is that, um, I feel like it may have been something after his birth, but not long after his birth, because I feel like when he's looking into things where it looks like there's a corner, or the, the that's where he gets a little wiggy. So look, there are certain things that would feel almost like entrapment, and that's my sense, where he just goes, literally shuts down. Has he? Uh, so how? What did you say about him getting in a car?
Um, it's hard to even describe. It is like the shutdown thing is what happens. If he gets overwhelmed, he just sort of zones out, and then it's, from a training standpoint, it's hard because he's not connecting with you. So it's not disobedience. It's not like, hey, I really need you to do this thing I'm asking. He's not there. He's sort of just kind of
Yeah,
space. So again,
gone.
it's not a normal like give and take kind of training relationship, but he does really well with fun. So if I could make it fun, a lot of times he'll choose it instead of zoning out, but you have to keep him engaged to do that. But he won't jump in and out of the car. And I've tested that, I've backed up and said, okay, I'm going to go over here and play without you, and I'll walk around, and it's like he cannot, and he'll just lay there and wait for me to come pick him up and pick him up out of the car. He can't jump down out of the car. He can't jump into the car.
My guess is you couldn't get him in a closet either. My guess is that there are things that are enclosed that he cannot
Yeah.
cannot do.
When he goes into a crate, he doesn't panic, and he's always very calm. But he goes into the crate, and so he's in a crate, and he's just kind of standing there, like you said something about the corner, and I almost feel like it's like his depth perception goes all wonky when he gets in that space, because he just stands there like he's not sure if he can turn around or if he can lay down. And
Right.
so he's just
The
zoned
lights
out.
are out.
Yeah.
He's gone. Yeah. And Yeah, did I say he said I have a big fun meter? Like it's all about fun.
He's
So
very fun and he plays well with everybody. The only thing he did that was problematic was resource guarding, and that's pretty much gone. I mean, I didn't do. It took a couple of days of just consistency, and then he was kind of like, "Oh, okay, I can't keep the pillow or the rug or whatever it is he's pulling around to play with."
yeah, I think that's just. I mean, honest to God, I didn't feel like he's like gotta have this sense of possession or like it was more like he didn't know how else to behave. That was just almost lack of training,
Yeah,
lack of
he had much structure before because he doesn't. He doesn't give me indications when we're working on training that he's like, oh yeah, I can do that. We're kind of starting. It's almost like he's a baby. I mean, it's almost like working with a baby.
okay, so what's going on, Claudia's having a big Claudia moment. She wants this dog because he also looks like it could be the energetic, like Afton has all the energetic love children of her two dogs, Bella and Barnaby.
All my dogs right now are black and tan, and they fit into that category of could be babies that Claudia needs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I do I need them? Always. Do I want them? Always. Can I?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah.
He's ridiculous, though. Oh my God.
Okay, so I have a question for you that would if you were to touch remember what we did in the acupressure class, like that bladder 10, so right behind the occiput. I want you to put your thumb on one side and your finger on the other side and don't move. And tell me, just breathe there for a moment. Do you feel a difference between the left side and the right side?
The left side feels calm, and the right side feels squiggly.
Because I feel like, and that's why I was saying to you that like sometimes these sorts of things, if this doesn't get attended to, and I don't mean to like make a prediction because I never make a prediction, but this is the sort of thing that where later on someone would come to me and say, wow, my dog has seizures and it's not epilepsy and it's that right side. So then about a few inches down, and I feel like there's almost just a vacuum, like he doesn't feel anything. So a few inches down, but I do feel like the swelling on the top of the head, and then there's just like a weird sensation here on the right side. But a few inches down on the left side of the neck, I know that he didn't show up with anything structural, but an X-ray is not going to show like soft tissue, which then could press against. So down on the left side of the neck, about 2 inches down from that spot, do you feel anything? Poke around.
On the left?
Mm-hmm.
It just feels kind of calm on the left side. I don't really
Kind of
feel
what?
it just feels kind of calm.
Okay. No heat, no.
No, this side, the right side definitely had some heat up here.
Yeah.
On that pressure point. And now that you've said that, like I'm actually looking at the top of his head, and this side is very smooth. And there is actually swelling, like visible swelling between his ear and the top of his head right there.
I can feel it. I mean, my head wants to explode.
Yeah.
And you said he circles to the right?
Always to the never, not ever once to the left. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that bladder 10 is going to be your best friend, for starters. But the other thing is it's so funny because I was just, you're going to read about it in chapter 6. Chapter 6? Yeah, chapter 6. So I was just writing about a horse that I used to go do EFT tapping for a horse named Magic, who didn't like the bright lights and the to show at nighttime. And these were big international shows, and he didn't like the lights in the arena at night. So I would go tap on him. I literally was flown around the country to work with him. And so people started knowing what I was doing, and other people used me. So there was a horse, and he was magnificent. And I made up some name because I can't remember the whole story. I mean, I can't remember his name, but I do remember the story very specifically. So he was a horse that had come from Europe. The owner had bought him like a year before and put him with this big fancy trainer. And all trainers always have a coach that they work with. So this fancy trainer was coaching with this Olympic rider at where the barn where I was working. And so a lot of the people that were riding with the big famous coach, Olympian rider, um, were using me. So the owner and the trainer found out about my work and had me tap on this horse. And what the horse had told me in the stall was that and they didn't tell me anything about it, right? But that he told me that what happens is he gets into the arena, the pressure is so great that he just like disappeared within himself. So it's very different from leaving your body, because that you can bring back, but this is like he disappeared, almost disintegrated within himself. So he became a shell of a horse, which was frightening for the rider, right? But when the rider would feel this, she would go away too. So she had no way of bringing the horse back. And this horse had been at a big barn in Europe and had been pushed, really so much pressure with the training. And so this horse shut down in the arena at the show. At home, he was amazing, which is why they were spending so much to do the big circuit around literally the world. So they ended up after we tapped on him. So then I asked the woman what happened when he goes away, and if she had any other situation in her life where she felt as though she were completely out of control. And she's like, no. And then all of a sudden, tears came to her eyes. She said, yeah, my dad died when I was 15, and my whole world was out of control. And so we tapped on the horse having so much pressure that he just disappears, and then the rider disappears, and then tapped on the woman for being out of control when she felt him go away, just as she felt her father go away. And anyway, they had the best ride of their lives that day. They qualified for everything, and then the owner just decided she never wanted to pressure anybody like that again and retired him on the spot. And then he became a very expensive pasture pony that she rides and enjoys in Colorado. But then I found out I ended up teaching animal communication in Colorado, and the owner and the trainer came and to the class, and I found out that very barn there was a class action suit against that trainer, and he got put in jail for the way that he treated horses. So that had a very happy-ish ending, at least for future horses. But so that feeling of going away is very different than leaving the body, right?
Yeah.
What happens to you when he goes away? Because you've never dealt with this before.
No, his behavior is definitely tricky. I think, I have to fight the poor baby thing. And then the other thing that happens is just it's frustration, because I feel like with all the things I've learned and learning, I should have something to help him faster. I feel pressure to help him quickly, because my normal thing is a 2 week, and then I give them back and they're good to go for the most part. And I have the pressure of other dogs coming in and out, because, I have to take him back to the shelter today for a few days, and then I can pick him back up after I work with an aggressive one. But, I hate taking him back and forth and feeling like there's time in between sessions and things. But if I'm going to do EFT, which I've started doing on him anyway, a few days in between is cool. So.
Where do you feel like other times where like I should have the tools? Like, did you ever feel like you got a pop quiz in geometry, or Is there something that you relate to? Like, I should know this.
I mean, more recent than that. I mean, it was Layla for sure. I mean, it's triggering for me to not be able to find an answer because I'm a fixer by trade, and by nature. You know, literally my job at this point. But, yeah, I mean, I still sometimes feel a little bit like I am letting the dogs down when I don't know the answer quickly, or when I try something and don't see results as quickly as I would like.
Okay, thank you. Penelope. This could go on for a while. I could take you guys with me. Thank you, Abby. I hate to leave the set, but all right. No one else is barking, Penelope, so, you know, I believe that there's something huge in your world, but... Okay, thank you. Good girl. See, Abby's right here. Abby's usually the one that's got the junkyard dog. All right, hold on. All right, Penelope. Come on. Good girl. Come on, I know. Something huge. Come. Penelope. Good girl. I know. Come on. Come on. Okay. That would have gone on for a little while. Good job. Good girl. Good girl. Do you want to see a cute dog? Come on. Now she doesn't want to. Okay. Good girl. Okay. Come here. Come on. Up. I know. Thank you. Okay. Hi. So, is there anything? When did you become a fixer? At what age?
I don't ever remember not being that way. I think culturally in the South, like, there's do that. So that's kind of, even when you're little, you know, go help your grandmother. She can't do XYZ. Go, you know, can you help the little kids do this or that? Like, they kind of put you in that, you're always supposed to be doing something helpful.
Did you ever feel like you didn't do something helpful?
I mean, with animals, it's definitely like
No.
a little triggering. No, not with animals.
No.
Okay.
Did you fail your grandmother?
It's hard. I'm having to go way back. I'm very old. Hold on.
You are not. I'm old. You are young. You're a kid.
I mean, I think I have regrets that I wasn't a better sister for my sister. I think there are things I could have done better for her when we were little.
Okay. Maybe. All right. I'm gonna. But when you see this behavior, what does it like? If he can't get in the car, where does it hit you in your body?
It makes me feel out of control. Disappointed. Sad. Frustrated.
Okay, are you ready to tap? I know we were going to tap on him, but we're going to do a little on you, and then we're going to move straight to him.
Okay. You're okay. Sit right there.
Okay.
Okay. They'll come back.
All right. Even though I am the best dang fixer on the planet.
I'm the best dang fixer on the planet. Hey! Okay.
And I can fix things like nobody else.
I can fix things like nobody else.
It's my heritage.
It's my heritage.
And I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
Even though I want to fix this dog more than anything in the world.
Even though I want to fix this dog more than anything in the world.
And I don't know how.
And I don't know how.
And I hate admitting that.
Say that one more time.
And I hate admitting that.
I hate admitting that. Accurate.
And I love and accept myself.
And I love and accept myself.
Even though
Even
This
though
is no quick fix.
this is no quick fix.
And it's super triggering.
And it's super triggering.
I think I'm in for learning a lot.
I think I'm in for learning a lot.
And I love and accept myself.
And I love and accept myself.
Okay, tapping through the points. This should be quicker.
This should be quicker.
This dog should get it.
This dog should get it.
I know he's smart.
I know he's smart.
But he just blanks out.
But he just blanks out.
He just goes away.
He just goes away.
He goes away.
He goes away.
He goes away.
He goes away.
And when he goes away, I feel out of control.
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 Oh my God, I feel out of control.
I feel out of control.
I hate that feeling.
I hate that feeling.
Everything is just gone.
Everything is just gone.
Everything I know,
Everything I know,
everything I feel,
everything I feel,
everything I could do,
everything I could do,
it's gone.
it's gone.
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 Completely out of control.
Completely out of control.
I feel completely out of control.
I feel completely out of control.
And I feel so disappointed.
I feel so disappointed.
I feel so disappointed.
I feel so disappointed.
I am so disappointed.
So disappointed.
I am so disappointed.
So disappointed.
I feel so disappointed.
I feel so disappointed.
I don't want to let this dog down.
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 It makes me so sad.
It makes me so sad.
I cannot let this dog down.
I cannot let this dog down.
Because if I let him down,
If I let him down,
I could be letting other dogs down.
I'll be letting other dogs down.
I have to find it.
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 And that is so much pressure.
That is so much pressure.
I have so much pressure on me.
I have so much pressure on me.
I am really willing to release the pressure.
I'm really willing to release the pressure.
I'm releasing the pressure.
I'm releasing the pressure.
I am allowing this to play out the way it's supposed to.
I'm allowing this to play out the way it's supposed to.
He's going to teach me some new things.
He's going to teach me some new things.
I'm learning some new things right now.
I'm learning some new things right now.
I'm willing to go into that abyss of being out of control with him.
I'm willing to go into the abyss of being out of control with him.
And we're going to find our center together.
We're going to find our center together.
Okay, can you bring him here?
Draco! Draco, come! What are you doing? Come! Come on! He's coming. Where are you? There he is. Good boy.
Hold on.
Good boy.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Shoo.
We can hear you. You're good.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, tapping on the. So, for those that don't know, we don't need to do a setup statement because we have already done it with Afton. So, I want you to tap on the inside of the eye. I was stuck in a can.
I was stuck in a can.
Outside the eye. I came out funny.
I came out funny.
Under the eye. I was stuck.
I was stuck.
Top of the nose. I don't really remember.
I don't really remember.
Under the chin. But I remember I couldn't breathe for a minute.
But I remember I couldn't breathe for a minute.
Inside of the chest. And I didn't panic.
And I didn't panic.
Top of the head. But I couldn't breathe.
But I couldn't breathe.
Inside of the eye. I couldn't breathe.
I couldn't breathe.
Outside of the eye. I was stuck.
I was stuck.
Under the eye. I was so stuck.
I was so stuck.
Top of the nose. I can hardly get a big breath now.
I can hardly get a big breath now.
Under the chin. I can hardly breathe thinking about this.
I can hardly breathe thinking about this.
Inside of the chest. I am scared.
Come here. Hold on 1 second. Come here, dude.
He's catching his breath.
Come here. Come on. Okay.
His eyes were getting very soft. And then
Here we go.
Okay, inside of the chest.
Oh,
I'm scared.
I'm scared.
Top of the head. I am scared.
I'm scared.
Inside of the eye. I don't know how to do this.
I don't know how to do this.
Outside of the eye. I don't know how to do this.
I don't know how to do this.
Under the eye. I cannot go down these stairs.
I cannot go down these stairs.
On top of the nose. I can't do this.
I can't do this.
Under the chin. I don't know how to do this.
I don't know how to do this.
Inside of the chest. I am just going to leave.
I'm just going to leave.
Top of the head. I'm gone.
I'm gone.
Inside of the eye. Nobody can find me.
Nobody can find me.
Outside of the eye. I'm in my own stomach, but nobody can see me.
In my own stomach, but nobody can see me.
Under the eye. I can't see them.
I can't see them.
Top of the nose because I'm gone.
Because I'm gone.
Under the chin. I don't want to be gone.
I don't want to be gone.
Inside of the chest. I can hardly breathe.
I can hardly breathe.
Top of the head. But I want to come back.
But I want to come back.
Inside of the eye. That Afton is looking at me like I'm crazy.
Afton's looking at me like I'm crazy.
Outside of the eye. But I could come back for her.
I could come back for her.
Under the eye. I could come back.
I could come back.
Top of the nose. I'm back.
I'm back.
Under the chin. I'm back in my whole body.
I'm back in my whole body.
Inside of the chest. I feel my hind feet.
I feel my hind feet.
Top of the head. Okay, I'm going to do it.
Okay, I'm going to do it.
Inside of the eye. I'm going to trust her.
I'm going to trust her.
Outside of the eye. Even though I feel trapped.
Even though I feel trapped.
Under the eye. I can still trust.
I can still trust.
Top of the nose. I can trust.
I can trust.
Under the chin. I can trust.
I can trust.
Inside of the chest. I feel safe.
I feel safe.
Top of the head. I am safe.
I am safe.
Okay, how did he do? I had my eyes closed.
He had a lot of releases at the beginning, and there's a big one. Saw him kind of doing some smacking and some yawning and kind of chomping on his tongue kind of stuff. I thought it was interesting he squiggled away when we started too, but you let me finish, didn't you? Yeah? Was that uncomfortable for you? We're talking about
But that's almost a metaphor for what he does, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's almost the perfect metaphor. I literally feel like he just thinks he's hiding in his stomach.
Yeah.
Like a lot of dogs or people that have had trauma, they leave their body. He doesn't. He goes inside. So I would really play with that. And I'd really play with the bladder sweep, keeping him like, remember, these are the parameters of my cute body.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel that sense of him going away?
Right there when we were doing the tapping. Yeah, when he got up, he was trying to disconnect from me. I really felt like that. It was uncomfortable. Like he was getting serious, and then he was like, ugh. I mean, and I identify with that. I do the same thing with my feelings, you know. EFT was super uncomfortable for me in the beginning.
Yeah, you didn't like it.
No, I don't like public displays of feelings. It's terrible, but yeah, I get it. I get him.
Claudia, what did you see?
It was interesting because at first I saw him kind of like, oh, and then he started to get really soft, and then it's like you hit the
I'm scared,
and he got up and just I'm out. Like he literally disappeared physically and energetically.
He disappeared from the screen.
From the screen.
And that was the only moment I opened my eyes.
Yeah.
I had my eyes closed the whole time, so I have no idea. But all of a sudden, he was not in the picture.
And when he came back, it was release after. I mean, he would not stop releasing. It was release, 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 licking, licking, yawning. His eyes got soft again. His ears softened again. I mean, I was just watching. It was like wave after wave after wave of release. And when I could feel it in the I can't breathe. It was almost like there was a tightness and then a release, and then a tightness and then a release. And I saw the same thing with Afton, but anyway. But no, it was amazing. Oh my gosh.
Has anyone made any comments? Did anyone else see anything?
Let's give them a moment.
And I want to say a couple of things real quick is if he goes into his stomach like that, so the bladder sweep is going to be your best friend because you need to reconnect him with that hind chakra, that first chakra that's like, I'm in my body, I'm in my hind feet. And that bladder sweep down to that last bladder point on either side of each hind foot is really, it's almost like stay there for a moment and then really stay at the end of his tail for a moment and just remind him this is the full body. You can't be up in your head and freak out and then hide in your stomach. And then with the stomach, I would really hold the outside of his rib cage. Like just hold it for a moment. It's kind of similar to something you would do in cranial sacral where it's like the diaphragm, but it's like saying, I've got you. You can't hide here. We're in this together. Right?
So
And the more like what's that?
Him right there, he picks his back up like that.
Yeah.
He like immediately, as soon as there's a little bit of pressure, he's like, oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, my sense is he either came out of the womb crooked, like wrong,
yeah,
or he got stuck, like he said, a can. It could be the trunk of a car, something where you're going into this thing. And I really do think it is something that happened after the womb because I think that, yeah, anyway, so I feel like there's still a lot of swelling and a lot of stuff, and that bladder 10 point is going to be your best friend, and the whole bladder sweep thing. And anyway, is anyone saying anything?
I think here we go. Okay. Ayat says, this has been so informative. Wow, he disappeared right at the scared feeling. Yes, he was releasing big time after he came back. Shannon Meyer says, the way animal communication and EFT go together is truly magical and transformative. Love watching him release. I'm like Afton, not a big on public displays of emotions, but the animal's transformation makes it so worth it. Same. Yeah. No, it was incredible to watch him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even when he starts doing that circling to the right, I would find a way to get his place your hand on his hind end and say, slow down, buddy. I've got this. I got this. And I mean, he holds his breath. I've dealt with a lot of horses and dogs in horse shows, with that pressure of like, oh, here comes the jump. And I'll find out that the horse holds its breath, and then the trainer will sit there and say, she holds her breath, like the rider does too. So, that's always really a fun realization that, like, oh, that's what happens, and that's what makes that jump so tense. This could be more fun, more fluid. But I feel like that's the same thing that happens with you guys. And I have a lot of dogs in agility, like the dog will hold its breath, and the person is like, turning bright red. So I feel like you might really be mirroring him. And this is one of those things where I don't think he's picking up on you. I think you're picking up on him. But then it just compounds the situation. Because then he's looking to you and you're like, oh, hell, I don't know how to do this.
Yeah. Some days are better than others. And I think I see a better result in him when I'm like, because I think he kind of looks at me like, how are you going to fix this? That's sort of what I feel like he's saying, when he's stuck and shutting down. And then if I can't immediately get him to move, get his feet moving, then he zones out. And so if I'm not as chaotic that day, if there's less energy in the house, if I don't have a board and train here, then I can give him more energy in that minute. If there's 7 dogs outside when he shuts down, it's really hard to be quiet for him and solid. I'm just worried about, trying to resolve it so that it doesn't get worse for him. Then I go into that place instead of trying to help him make it as positive as possible. I go into a place where I'm just trying to not let it get more negative. And so I'm putting energy into thinking about it in a negative way at that point. I know that. It's just hard to stop it.
Well, the thing is that this is one of those situations where the trauma is stuck in his brain. So not only do we have to release it emotionally, but you have to retrain. There has to be some other place he goes to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the circling is a little better, but it's definitely still there, and it is almost like a comfort. It's almost like I feel like that's what it's his. If he has to move, then he goes into that kind of. That's how he. It's almost like that's his way to soothe him.
Yeah, and horses going into a circle releases endorphins. So you might start turning him the other way or showing him another thing that is really another way of self-soothing and building confidence. Because he's, again, going back to who he is, in his soul, he's this noble creature that just hasn't been seen yet.
He's super smart and sweet. I mean, he's probably one of the easiest dogs I've ever had as far as just getting along with everybody. He never gets upset. He's never irritated at the other animals. Like, he's easy and fun and silly. Likes to French kiss. Who doesn't like that?
All right. Well, this has been great. So, anything else that anyone else said?
Bernadette says, good morning, Joan, Claudia, and Afton. You all are amazing, incredible demonstration. Good morning, Bernadette.
Good morning, Bernadette.
Ayat says, he's so happy and wanting to be here now. Oh my gosh, he's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's ridiculous. Oh.
Well, we have to wrap this up. I want to hear later on today, Afton. I know then you have the other dog.
Yeah.
That's a big challenge, but nothing we can't do in this school. We have an army, a village. So anyway, again, just as a reminder to everybody, tomorrow we start Animal Communication Level 1. On May 12th, we start Energy Healing for Animals, and we'll do a lot of this. This is kind of what we do. And we can't wait to hear how he does. And this is really like, if I could spend the rest of my life taking people to wildlife and helping animals in shelters, like, that's kind of all I want to do. And teaching people how to have these skills. I mean, that's paramount to doing this. But this is where my heart lives, is doing this.
Yes.
We do hard things.
What's that?
We do hard things together.
Yeah. All right. Well.
All right, everybody.
Call me later, Afton. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.